Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I Engineer Shad Muhammad, lecturer at Department of Civil Engineering, Comsats University, Islamabad, Sahiwal campus. Welcome you all to this our lecture number 25. And today we will be continuing our previous lecture, and we will be solving another example on stress transformation. And this will be our last example. And in our upcoming lectures, we will be studying Mohr circle graphical representation of stress transformation. That is an alternative to this equation method. Personally, I like this stress equation method because this is automatic, and it's very easy for softwares to develop on those equations. And furthermore, anyhow, what we are going to do is this, that we will continue our previous lecture. Let me briefly overview our previous concepts, and then we will jump up to this example problem number 7.8. Stress transformation. What is the fundamental of stress transformation is this, that your element is subjected to combined loadings, and that loading is quite complex. So you need to calculate basic classical mechanics equations, bending stresses at different points, and shear stresses and torsional stresses, whatever the loading case might be. When you have done that, then you are going to calculate the effect of those combined loadings at a point. At point A, point B, point C, wherever you are going to calculate. And one another thing, that you should calculate the maximum bending stresses, maximum shear stresses, and maximum. The case of maximum is essential. When you have calculated that, you bought a stress block and you have shown them, then your element can deflect and rotate and deform and strain. So there is a chain of hierarchy of steps. You can move from top to down or bottom to up. Top down approach is this, that there are failures, and you move that to stress strain curve, and then stress strain curve to forces, stresses to forces, and strains to deformation. Okay. Change in length. That's first approach. Deflection, move to strain. Okay, strain to stresses, and stresses to forces. Another approach is this, that you move bottom to top. Strains. Okay. So these are two approaches, and this is your stress block. And then you studied that this stress block can be oriented at different angles. Blocks can rotate, and material can deflect, deform. So what will be the effect of rotation on the stresses? These are your axial stresses, two axial stresses, and one shear stresses. Your axial stresses will be positive when they are away from the face, directed away from the face, and they will be shear stresses will be positive when your arrows of the stresses are at top corner, merging at top corners. Then that shear will be positive. Second approach is this, that when you look at this face, right face, and your shear stresses are, your this arrow is upward, then your shear stresses are positive. So in planar, you will get two direct stresses and one shear stresses. So we are interested in the resultants, the maximum axial stresses and the maximum shear stresses. So we are also knowing that before finding the maximum axial stresses and maximum shear stresses, we know that stress block can transform at different orientations. So what is the effect of stress block transformation is this, that you orient it at different angles, So effect of orientation on these direct stresses and shear stresses we calculated, and we came to know that these were our stress transformation equations. What they depict is this, that when your stress block is given at any orientation theta, you can find the resultant axial stresses and resultant shear stresses. These are not your maximum axial stresses and maximum shear stresses. These are your transformed shear stresses and axial stresses at any plane oriented at any angle theta. We are what we have to do this with stress transformation is this, that now we are interested in maximum shear stresses and maximum axial stresses, because maximum stresses are the reason for your material failure, and your theories of failure are related to maximum principal stresses and maximum shear stresses. If your material is failing due to maximum shear stresses, then your material will be classified as allowing deformation and allowing plasticity, and then they can be categorized as ductile material. And if your material is failing due to maximum principal stresses, maximum axial stresses and principal stresses in particular, then your material will be classified as rigid and do not allowing plastic deformation. Then you will classify those material as those ductile materials, and they will fail due to maximum axial stresses, maximum principal stresses. Okay, there are theories which will play around with these maximum shear stresses and maximum normal stresses. Anyhow, we will come up to that, and now we moved up to, then we solved some numerical problems related to this stress transformation, and then we went and we found the planes on maximum and minimum stresses. First we found the maximum shear stresses and the minimum shear stresses. Then we found the plane on which these maximum shear stresses are going to be applied. Then later on we found the maximum axial stresses and the minimum axial stresses, and then we found out the plane on which maximum axial and shear stresses are going to be applied. Got it? Then later on what we did is this, that we saw the effect of orientation on you should be able to draw this one. At the end of lecture I may draw this one pictorial, this one. Anyhow, then we solved one example, and today we'll be solving example 7.8. A thin-walled cylindrical steel tube under internal pressure. This one, this is thin-walled tube and having internal pressure P, 30 megapascal. Mega represents 10 raised to the power 6 Pascal. Is also subject to torsion. So torsion is also applied. Torsion is a type of, you can show them with the help of moments. Okay, torsion is a type of shear stresses. Anyhow, the tube has a mean diameter of 80 millimeter. Mean diameter is 80 millimeter, and as this is thin walled cylinder, so dia there is very less difference between external dia and internal dia. So very thin, so 80 millimeter is dia, and a wall of thickness 2 millimeter is thickness. So Determine the maximum shear stress element and the principal stress element at the point on the visible side of the tube. On the visible side of the tube, you are going to find the maximum shear stress and principal stresses. Principal maximum stresses on the visible side, this stress block. How you are going to calculate the stresses at this stress block? I told you before, this is a case of combined loading. And you can see that biaxial and biaxial case of loading. Okay, you can calculate the hoop stresses. Hoop stresses are equal to 2 times the longitudinal stresses, and longitudinal stresses are, hoop stresses are equal to PR divided by T or PD divided by 2T. Okay, hoop stresses are PD divided by 2T, and axial longitudinal stresses are PD divided by 4T. So we will calculate for the maximum one. Hoop stresses are maximum, so PR divided by T or PD divided by T. As diameter is given, so PD divided by 2T will be more feasible. Anyhow, PR divided by T, P is the pressure and R is the radius, internal radius. Okay, T is the thickness of the material. So this is 60 megapascal positive. Hoop stresses are tensile stresses. Remember, you can recall and you can revisit your thin wall cylinders equation. There are hoop stresses and there are longitudinal stresses, and in thick wall cylinders there is an additional stress, that is radial stresses, due to the effect of thickness of the cylindrical walls. Anyhow, okay, due to torsion, maximum tau max is equal to Tp divided by I, or polar moment of inertia, P. Okay, T is the torsional force, and P is the TR. Many books have written TR. This is the radius. Okay, radius of the outermost fiber. Maximum shear stresses, torsional stresses is at the maximum outer fiber. Remember it, a visible. Okay, you will use 41 millimeter. Here you are using 40 Y, and here you are using 41 millimeter Y, big Y. Think about it. This is the polar moment of inertia and torsion. You have studied that you will use polar moment inertia, sometimes represented by J, and this is 40.8 megapascal, again positive. So you are going to show hoop stresses are in this direction and torsion is in this direction. So how are you going to show? Hoop stresses are in this direction, so this is upward 60 megapascal, and torsion is in this direction, so this is 30 megapascal. For shearing, torsion is a shearing. I told you before that torsional stresses are shear stresses. So shear is positive, and they have shown it negative case. Oh, there is a problem. Note the direction of the stresses on X and Y faces. Axial stresses will be how much? Half of this one. So axial stresses are 30 megapascal, and both are in tension. So stress hoop and Y are 60 megapascal, and shear is minus 40 and this is they have shown minus 40. All right, if you show minus or here you show minus, then that's fine. Why? But why minus? Why minus? Why not plus? Here it should be plus and arrow should be upwards. Here he has done a mistake. Okay, this is a mistake. Anyhow, okay, you are going to calculate the shear maximum with the help of this equation. You got 43.5 megapascal, and the orientation at which this shear maximum is applied minus 10.09, and you have to confirm it, and you put this angle in your stress transformation equation, and if you get the same answer, then that's your angle is fine. If you do not get the same answer, means that your orientation or stresses were shown in wrong direction. Okay, so draw shear maximum and in the correct sense of the maximum shear stress. So here they have shown it, but they have not made in constructed in pauses well way. So your assumed direction is wrong. This is wrong. So you should use this one, and this is the correct sense. All right, and then what you are going to do is that maximum and what about this case? This is the maximum shear stress, and the angle is minus 10.90. Angle is same, and what about this one? This is average direct stresses. Okay, average direct stresses, average stresses. This is average direct stresses, 45 megapascal, and at both axes. So where will your shear will be maximum at other opposite sides, your average shear stresses, average normal stresses will be average, and then you have to find the maximum principal stresses. So the angle you can add 45 degree of the shear, and you will get 34.9 degree, and you put this in axial transformation equation, and if you get 1.53 megapascal, 1.53 megapascal is in maximum principal stresses direction. So at 34.91 orientation, you will getting 1.53 megapascal. You can confirm this by using these other equations. Stress minimum, average stress is minus tau, and stress maximum plus tau you will get if you are getting minimum. Maximum is 88.5 megapascal, and minimum is if you are calculate this one, you will get 1.53 megapascal. Okay, this one. So at this orientation, you are having minimum normal stresses, minimum principal stresses, and there you are getting maximum principal stresses. So this is your original orientation, and this is your orientation for the shear case, and very interesting and very fascinating. Okay, this is an end to your stress transformation. So what we are going to do is this, that we are going to develop an Excel sheet for the calculation of these one, and let me help you out with an Excel. Okay, this has opened, and let's try this one, simpler case. What we are going to do is write some budget, increase it, Arial will be fine. Okay, let's do some conditional cell color. Okay, this one, and let's fold it out. And how you are going to add sigma? This is interesting. Insert, or maybe you are going to just directly go and symbols. Here you are going to find special characters. There is no special character here, and sigma, and here you get the sigma. This is your code 03C3. Insert, and you have got the sigma, and you are going to write equal to, and here should be your, should open them in parallel. Sigma x. How you are going to write sigma x? You have to write this, and open font, not this one. Okay, what you are going to do, this is this one, select this one, and not format cell, subscript, make it subscript, and copy this one and paste it over here, and now you should change it to y. Auto transformed. Okay, this is y, and this is equal to, and similarly you will have tau xy, tau. You are going to have tau. How are you going to have tau? Tau you are going to represent with tau. Tau, you have to look over here. This is tau, and this is your code C03C4. Okay, tau in equal to, its values are in PSI, and PSI, and what about this one is 8000 minus 2000 and 5000. Right, got it, and now you are going to write the tau max. Copy it over here and paste it over here, and you are going to write max, and select right click, format cell, subscript, tau max, and you are going to write equal to. Here you are going to write a formula equal to. Before starting the formula, you have to write a equal to sign and sqrt square root bracket, and I should place 1 divided by 4 into, select the sigma y, this one, and press F4. No need to press F4. Press F4 is better. Press F4 and minus, select this one, press F4, and this one and bracket, and for raised to power you are going to write shift and 6 button, and raised to power 2, and plus you are going to write no need of bracket, and this one select this cell and F4, press F4, you get the dollar sign, and then raise to the power shift 6 button and square, and close the bracket. Okay, and press enter. You got it. You got it, but you got it something wrong. Okay, what we have done is wrong is this, that maybe we did not apply this thing or this thing, and one another thing that this is with your whole equation, not whole equation. This is with this only, and another one. What's the problem in the equation? Okay, minus 8,000, and this is whole square. Okay, so this is whole square. Let me crack this square root. What's the error? Where is the error? Wait a minute, where is the problem? This is wrong. No. Let me solve this with the help of calculators. Maybe this equation is having some problem. Okay, just look at it. Book has done some mistake, and our formula was fine, but book has done mistake, and we are going to write PSI. See, books are not always fine. Here it is mistake. So you can play around and develop equations, and very simply you are going to do this one and formulate, and you should be able to draw this graph. Okay, for this is your home assignment, that you have to draw this graph for different angles, and for this and this numerical. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you, and assalamu alaikum.